What's up everyone, it's Bones here. In today's video, I'll be bringing a combo slash tutorial on the P.U.N.K deck that has been making a little bit of noise recently. But unfortunately, while I was on Dueling Book, I wasn't able to find any matches, and I've kind of been limited in my time that I can look for matches and stuff because I came down with the virus the other day. And I've just been feeling terrible, so if you see that I'm not posting as frequently, though I'm still posting, that's kind of why. But anyways, before I begin, if you happen to enjoy content like this, and you'd like to see more, clicking on those thumbs up and subscribe buttons would be greatly appreciated, as it goes a long way in supporting the channel and shows me that you like content like this. So to start, the first thing I'm going to do is show two hands that go with one Italy, and I'm pretty sure they're both pretty standard, but this first combo I feel just goes a little bit harder because it's all the punk stuff. It kind of shows what you can do with all this stuff, as I'm going to make the level 8 synchro, which comes out in Power of the Elements called Jam Dragon Drive, and it takes one Psychic Tuner plus one non-tuner monsters. If this card is synchro summoned or special summoned by a punk card's effect, you can pay 600 life points, that's a cost, take one level 3 psychic monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. If your opponent activates a card or effect in response to the activation of your punk card or effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. You can only use each effect of Punk Jam Dragon Drive once per turn. So to kind of show what the punk stuff itself can do, I'm going to go full combo here with these cards. You're going to see that I'm going to chain link 3 Xiaomin to let the synchro gain 600, and then we can get the Dear No chain link 2 blocked by the Xiaomin along with the synchro being chain link 1, and what we added off the synchro was the Shara here, which can let us extend a little bit more, and as you can see here, this is already one weakness the deck has, is which in the early lines of play you can kind of play through hand traps, but the more into your combo you get, the harder it becomes, so that's something to keep in mind, and that's why I'm also playing cross out. I would also like to note, as you can see here, you do have a lot of room for going second card, so I thought cross out would be good in this deck for that reason as well. So to continue the replay, I'm going to use the Shara effect, and then I'm going to go into the fusion, which at this point is just really overextending, and I'm doing this to show the full extent of what it can do, just so that you see how the deck functions. And I want to note that this field spell is actually kind of crazy because it reads, once per turn you can banish one punk card from your graveyard, special summon one punk monster from your hand. If a psychic monster you control pays life points to activate an effect, you can draw one card. And you can use this effect of Punk Jam Extreme Session up to twice per turn. So you can get 2 draws off this if you sequence your order right. As you'll see, I'm now going to use the spider in order to get the trap, and then that will also allow me the draw there, which I get the ogre dance, and I'm not going to continue from here, is because basically what this is here is mask with the synchro. You have 2-3 sets, the Ash Blossom and the Ogre Dance, which you can either play on if you want to, even though I don't see any point. I think it's just better to keep it as follow-up, while you really try to win with these and try to catch your opponent on points of interactions where maybe you can revive this or get off some of the other punk effects that are sort of similar that I'll go over later in the video. But this is pretty much what I was able to accomplish through one Italy, and that's assuming that I go this route. So the second hand here is going to be a lot more standard and something that you've probably seen for far too long now, as I'm going to special summon the Xiaomin. Xiaomin will get Foxy Tune, and keep in mind there's different ways that you can go through the combo here, but the reason why I like getting Foxy P.U.N. over Shara, let's say, it's because once you fusion summon with Shara and commit to the tribute of the fusion monster to special summon 2 from deck, if you don't have a response to Ash Blossom, all your resources are just gone from that play, and you kind of need a little bit of luck to even play on beyond that point. So while it may seem like you do have a lot of options for the deck, I do feel in most cases it's better to grab the Foxy P.U.N. or if you already have a Punk in hand, even get the Deer Note directly just to play around any other hand trap stopping you from Foxy P.U.N. resolving. So I'm going to get the Chaos Ruler here, as the Deer Note will be Chain Link 2, and then revive the Xiamen, mill 5 here. As you see, I mill the field spell, but I add the Ogre Dance, and I'm going to go into Hulk here, and from here, I'm going to revive the Chaos Ruler, go into Dagda, and then I'm not going to do anything else, I believe, because at this point it's the same thing. You kind of want to keep the Ogre Dance for follow-up. You have your Scythe and your Wonder Magician access right here. But as you can see, the deck can be very vulnerable to hand traps if you don't have proper ways to play around them. So now I'm going to play an actual hand here, and in this one I happen to draw the field spell and Scythe. So I'm going to summon the Xiamen here, which uses up my normal, get the Deer Note directly, and then I can use activate the field spell here, use the Deer Note effect, and this will allow me to send the Foxy P.U.N. to the graveyard and then go into the Synchro 8, the dragon thing, and Deer Note will be Chain Link 2 as the ominous Chain Link 3 in order to chain block all of this stuff here. And from here, I also get the draw off the field spell off the Synchro as I draw into a Dark Ruler. Then I can special summon the Shara by banishing the Foxy P.U.N. And from here I can fusion summon, getting another draw, and then using the fusion effect in order to tribute itself and then get the Madam Spider in the wagon. And the Madam Spider will then get me the trap, and from there I can go into Hulk, which will get me into Xiamen, set 2, and the only reason I did that there was because at any point during your opponent's turn, you can Hulk into Formula Synchron, go into Baron or Cheng Ying, and then you kind of want to keep your Punk trap here. If your life points do get a little bit low, it just can't make a little bit of a difference, but it's just something that I wanted to point out. Now, onto the deck profile, and I would like to point out that this is extremely experimental. There are some different ratios I would like to try. Like, I don't know if the 3 Ogre Dances are too much, but at the same time, being able to add them off of Chaos Ruler and have some follow-up is nice. So that is one reason that makes me believe that it should be at 3. The 3 Foxy P.U.N.s, the 3 Xiamens, I think these are standard. The 2 Deer Notes, and I think in pure Punk you can't just play 1. The Madam Spider and the Wagon, I play them as one-ofs along with the Shara, because I do think that they have a place with this deck, especially if you're able to play through hand traps and then kind of just get them out and build advantage from there. Or even with Madam, just kind of like stabilizing your board and making it a little bit stronger, because as you see, the one thing about the Punk stuff that you have here, the Amazing Dragon and the Dragon Drive, they aren't necessarily the greatest board enders. And Psychic and Punisher is like the only other good level 11, so you don't have a lot of strong turn 1 end boards. As you see, your Baron is your 1 Omni Negation, and then you have Hulk Dagda, which is like your other one. backed by the plethora of hand traps that you can play. So while there are some things on the P.U.N.K package that I don't know if they may be correct, including the one field spell, I can understand why I've seen people play 2 or 3 of this. I just thought that seeing it too often may be a little bit too bricky, especially considering that with cards that have effects similar to this, in the sense that they extend but aren't necessarily starters, I think can be strong one-ofs, but nothing's set in stone on that. Then onto the hand traps, as you see here, the 3 Ash, the 3 Crows, the 3 Veilers, the 3 Imperms, the going second card with Dark Ruler, the Crossouts, and the Called by the Grave. So that alone is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19 slots where you can interact with your opponent, provided they do something to allow you to interact with them. Then there's the Snow. I play this because of the Chaos Ruler, just the small chance to mill it, making the deck that little bit more stronger, which I felt it needed, especially considering the synchros themselves aren't too strong for going first, and you're really not going into any of your 11s turn 1 unless you play something that struggles with Psychic and Punisher. But for the last card in the main deck, of course, we have Scythe, and that's because of Dagda. Then onto the extra deck, the Access Code, Selene, because you play the Veilers, the Unicorns, the Mask, the Hulk, the Dagda, the P.U.N.K Synchro 11, the Psychic and Punisher, Chen-Ying, Baron, Dragon Drive, the Chaos Ruler, the Wonder Magician, the Formula Synchron, and the Rising Carp to round out the deck profile. I didn't put a side deck because, like in some of my previous videos, I don't want to over-assume, especially considering that we could get a potential ban list. That's kind of been weighing on my mind heavy the last couple of days, considering Power of the Elements is getting a lot closer and these two here are still coexisting. That's pretty much all there is to say about that. But anyways, if you made it this far into the video, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy, and if you have any suggestions or criticism / feedback that you would like to leave back on the deck, feel free to leave any down below, as I believe that there might have been something I'm missing that I can do here, but I'm just not catching it and my brain's just not functioning right now. That's about it. Anyways, it's Bones, signing out.